Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina.
The following portion of Living Local Carolina is sponsored by HTC. Well, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. I'm so excited because it's our first ever HTC Day, and I'm joined by, let's see, Wendy McCracken, the Chief Executive for HTC. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. We want to get to know you guys. We're going to be doing these panels every month. I'm really excited to learn more about what you guys do, but first let's start off by what your job is.
Okay. My title is Chief Executive of Human Resources and Member Operations. We have a 5-person executive team, and each one of us is responsible for making sure that HTC is successful, but we also represent different aspects of the company. So I get to represent the people, both the employees and the members. So my Human Resources division takes care of all things employees, from hiring to training, safety, retirement planning, benefits and compensation, all of those things.
I see.
And then the member operations team, if a person calls in or visits one of our 8 retail stores, they're talking to one of our people in member operations. If they call in because they have a need and they need help troubleshooting something, they're talking to somebody in member operations.
All right. Now tell me a little bit about the history of HTC.
Yeah. So we're real proud of our history. We started in 1952 by bringing telephone to people in Horry County that could not get telephone. And so we've evolved from there, and we offer cable TV, security, and internet is our main line of business. It's kind of going back to the grassroots. People couldn't get telephone back in 1952, and now internet is such an essential service. People depend on it for education, for working, for telemedicine, for staying connected with family and friends, watching TV. I mean, it is an essential service. So we are committed to bringing internet to every residence and business in Horry, Georgetown, and Marion counties.
I love it. Well, what do you think really sets you guys apart from other providers?
Yeah, so there's a few things that set us apart from our competitors. One is we deliver internet over fiber. Fiber is the way that you can deliver internet that provides the most capacity, the fastest speeds, and the most reliability, and that sets us apart. Secondly, we're local. So our 650 employees live here, and every dime that you invest as a member into getting services with us stays in Horry, Georgetown, and Marion County.
Okay, so we're going to get back to basics here.
Yep.
What is a cooperative?
Yeah.
Specifically?
Yeah. So a cooperative means that the member owns the company. So the other internet companies are for-profit. HTC is not for-profit. In fact, we take the money that our members spend on our services, and we make sure that our technology is the latest and greatest to deliver that experience to our members. In addition to that, we value this community, and the employees that work for us are your neighbors. And so, we give income to 650 families in this area. And then in addition to that, we are a very strong community partner throughout the whole community, and we reinvest back into the community.
That's awesome. Well, what would you say is the difference between being a customer and being a member?
Mm-hmm. So if you're a customer of one of our competitors and you write your check for internet and cable TV, you write a check one time and it's gone. You receive a service. As a member, you write that check, and the longer you've been with us and the more services you have, you will actually start to get a refund back in around August or September of every year. It's called a capital credit. So because we are not a for-profit company, anything that we earn above and beyond our operating expenses gets refunded back to our membership.
That's very cool. I always love hearing about a refund.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
It's always a good thing to hear, Yep. Okay, is everything local, including your call center and technical support?
Everything is local. If you pick up the phone and call HTC, you are getting someone inside of Horry, Marion, or Georgetown County.
That's reassuring, you
Yep.
know? Well, what would you say is your favorite part of your job?
The people. We are very member experience centric. We want to be the best. When my friends tell me that they had to call HTC and they talked to someone and that they had a really good experience, we take pride in that. So
Awesome.
that's my favorite part.
Guys, stick with us here on Living Local Carolina, because after the break, we're going to be hearing from Lana Suggs. We'll see you in a bit. Well, thanks for sticking with us here on Living Local Carolina for our HTC Day. And now I am joined by Lana Suggs. You also work for HTC, but you have a little bit of a different job title.
I do, yes.
Tell me about what you do.
So my job title is Director of Member Experience, but that entails a lot during the day.
Well, tell me a little bit more about what your day looks like.
Sure. So really my job is to support our members and also to support our agents that are in our contact center, in our retail locations, as well as our technical support team.
And one thing that's really big about you guys is making sure that you feel like the customer experience is very local.
Yes.
Why is that important?
Well, I think it's very important because we all live here too. The areas and the members that we serve, we're going to, our kids are going to school there, we're shopping, we're going to church, different things like that. So, the people that are employed there are actually, members as well.
And that can also be very helpful too,
Absolutely.
We all have the same accents.
Yes.
Okay, so tell me, if somebody were to call in, what is that experience like?
Well, you're going to get someone that is very friendly. You're going to get someone that is knowledgeable. You're going to get someone that is committed to making sure that they resolve whatever request or question that you may have.
What are some of those questions that typically come up?
So primarily you're going to have someone that maybe is moving into our service area and they're calling to inquire about what services do you have available. And we're a one-stop shop. We have everything, I think, that, could service your telecommunications needs.
Okay, gotcha. And technology is changing very rapidly. So how is HTC including members?
That is a great question. So, we service our members in a variety of different ways. So if you want to call us, you can engage us that way. If you want to walk into one of our retail locations, if you want to email us, if you want to chat with us, we have agents available to assist you. If you're more of a self-help, you can go to our website and get information, tutorials, or if you want to come into one of our retail locations and actually get a demo one-on-one, that's available too.
I gotcha. Okay. And how is it important to have local representatives?
I think, again, they're very committed to our community. I think that they're aware, if you call in and let's say we have a power outage today, they know they live here. If you have a weather condition or if we have inclement weather, they're aware of those things too. If you call in and you have a service request, maybe in one of the rural areas that was mentioned earlier in our county for Marion, for Georgetown, they're able to assist and know. And I think that's one of the things that separates us that you wouldn't get from a national provider.
So tell me more about what tech support looks like for you guys.
So tech support is available. You can actually call us anytime, 24/7, 365-2186. To access an agent. It doesn't matter what day, what time, we're available there for you, from anything from, there's a gamut, there's a variety of needs that members may have, but we have agents there ready and available to answer all of those questions for you.
That's amazing. Do you have maybe some customer stories or feedback that you've gotten over the years?
Well, I can give you a tip. Before you call tech support, reboot. That is one of the most common things that you'll see, before you call. You may want to try to see if you could reboot that equipment or, restart that laptop.
I see. You always want to be sure that you're rebooting. That can fix a lot of problems.
It can.
But what's your favorite part of your job?
I think my favorite part of my job is really having the opportunity to not only support our members, but to support our team internally.
Tell me more about your team.
Well, we have our contact center. Our contact center is available Monday through Friday from 8 to 8. On Saturdays, they're available from 8 to 6.
Okay.
Our retail locations are available from 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. And on Saturdays, we have 2 locations that are open from 9 to 2. And as I said earlier, our technical support team is available 24/7.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Lana. I appreciate it. Guys, stick with us here on Living Local Carolina. After the break, we're going to be hearing from Ryan, so we'll see you in a bit. Thanks for sticking with us here on Living Local Carolina for HTC Day. Now I'm back in the studio and I'm joined by Ryan Graham. How are you, Ryan?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today, Katie?
I'm doing wonderful. Good. We've been getting to know your team a little bit more today, but I want you to tell everybody what you do.
So my title is Plant Engineering Director or Executive Director of our Plant Engineering Group. I'm super excited to be here today to share a little bit about what we do here at HTC. Along with my team. We've got a great team at HTC.
You do have a great team.
Yes.
So what does a day-to-day look like for you?
Well, beyond the meetings we're in to really plan ahead for growth and things that are happening in our local communities, we're really focused right now specifically on our fiber initiatives, getting fiber deployed throughout our communities. We understand that's an important topic for us and an important step in the right direction to have our communities in a place where they can thrive and succeed and have the things they need to really move ahead in the 21st century here.
And that's what we're going to be talking a lot about today is fiber.
Yes.
Why is it important and what are you guys doing when it comes to it?
So fiber is a really interesting technology. It's been around for well over 20, 30 years. We've actually been deploying fiber locally in this market for at least 25 years. Starting in about 2004, all new developments, and there's been a lot of new developments since 2004, communities within our service area, we've been deploying fiber to the premise, which was, an unusual step back in 2004. But we're proud to say we've got the area's largest fiber network here locally, and it really is a pathway to the future. It gives us an opportunity to provide technologies and speeds and internet services and all the services really over one medium, and it isn't as much environmentally dependent, right, on things such as power and those things. But we can talk more about that for sure.
Well, I know people are wanting to know, when are you guys going to be finished? Do we have a tentative date maybe?
Yeah, so I referenced 2004. That was really all new deployments in new communities, and we've done that since 2004. But back in 2016, we made a strategic initiative, or set a strategic initiative, and we started in what we consider our southern network. At the time, Murrells Inlet, Collins Creek communities, those traditional incumbent areas that we had serviced since the 50s. And we had some older technology deployed in those communities, and we realized it just was not adequate. So we started in 2016 deploying those areas. We had a 3-year plan. Finished that plan well ahead of schedule, and we felt like we did such a good job, and our members were so excited for this new technology that we expanded that. So we're in the midst of a 10-year plan at this point, and we're really getting close to the finish line. So we're about 18 months away, I'd say. So we're really excited. By the end of 2026, all our service territories that we currently service will be on this latest and greatest fiber technology.
That is very exciting.
Yes, we are.
And we have to talk about Surfside Beach too, right?
Yes, Surfside was another feather in our cap. We were super excited. Early in the year, we approached the town officials. We had seen a lot of requests coming from owners and members and folks living in the Surfside community that didn't have access to a fiber technology. And as we sat down with the town officials, the mayor and city administrator, they were very helpful to allow us to come into town, and we started construction in early January and finished up just before Easter, and then we've actually activated the last area only weeks ago. So we've seen a lot of advancement in a short period of time, and hopefully the residents of Surfside are proud of the progress we made. We certainly are.
That is awesome. Well, why would you say, just in general, why is fiber important?
That's a good question, Katie. We have, as my co-workers have shared, and I think Wendy earlier had shared, we've been around since 1952, and our initial goal was to provide voice service. And we've had facilities, in the market for a number of years. We started serving internet service in the early 90s. You remember the dial-up days, and those those things. I'm old enough to remember it, at least anyway. And so as we progress down the path, one of the things we have tried to stay within our local market is to stay relevant and to stay in front of things. So the fiber optic technology, again, like I said, has been around for a while, but what it does is it basically gives you a virtually unlimited pipe. The best way I can describe it is, you've been driving around in a 1980, say a 1980 vehicle, and it's time for an upgrade, right? It's serviceable, it's done a good job for you, but at this point in time, it's 40 years old. It's time to upgrade, right? Yeah. So what we've done is made a wise investment in our fiber optic technology.
Well, thank you so much, Ryan. I appreciate you explaining to me what fiber is. I'd actually never heard of it before, nor did I know anything about it. So I appreciate your knowledge.
Well, thank you.
Guys, stick with us here on HTC Day because we have Ashley Hightower up next. Welcome back to Living Local Carolina. It is HTC Day. We've been learning a lot today, getting to know the team here, and now I'm joined by Ashley Hightower. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Ashley, what do you do for HTC?
I'm a marketing associate with HTC.
So what does that look like?
My role is, it's a lot of hats all at once. So I have a lot of involvement with PR and media relations. So I'm the one that's going to craft the press release and get it over to the media correspondents so they know what's happening with HTC and everything that's involved. I also write a lot of blogs, awareness blogs for our members to stay focused and informed on topics that they may not be as experienced with. I handle our scheduling and creation of social media content to make sure that that stays elevated and cutting edge, keeping everybody engaged, if you will. I'm also on a lot of projects. So one of my favorites that is coming up would be the digital literacy project. I'm very excited about that. So we'll see where that goes. But mainly my focus would be community outreach. So our Helping the Community initiative and things like that.
Okay, so what involvement does HTC have in the community?
HTC is deeply rooted within the communities of Horry, Georgetown, and Marion counties. That can be through donations, sponsorships, but it's really just internetworking with the people of the community and being invested in those relationships and ties because they're not just members, they're your neighbors. We work here and we live here as well.
I love that. I've been hearing a lot of that today, which is always a good thing.
Absolutely.
So tell me more about helping the community and why that's important.
Helping the Community is our umbrella initiative, so it covers a lot. And that's going to be where you do your community outreach through those various ways of donations, sponsorships, scholarships, public awareness campaigns, and special events to get people involved. And we like to touch on as much as we can where it comes to those everyday heroes like your nurses, your teachers, first responders, things of that nature. We give a lot to youth organizations as well, heavily involved with that, with book donations and readings. But it's really just about, like I said, being that neighbor and going out and giving that community outreach.
Well, we're going to talk numbers here. So how many community-related entities has HTC been able to assist so far in 2025?
Okay, so far in 2025, you're looking at around 130 different types of organizations, businesses, or things like that we have touched on thus far. There's still many, many more to come, though. I have a lot on the list that we're looking at, but that's where we're at so far.
Could you maybe give me some examples of those different entities?
Sure. Just recently, you had the Special Olympics, you had Shepherd's Table, Meals on Wheels, different chambers in the area as well.
All right. Why is that important to you guys?
It just keeps you connected to those around you, makes them know that they're more than just, you're not just providing a service, they're a part of that as well.
I love it. Well, we have to ask, what is on the docket for the rest of the year for you guys?
As far as helping the community, I know we do have some donations to summer camps coming up as well, but I don't want to give too much away because I like the element of surprise. I like being able to reach out to who I'm contacting and surprising them a little with what's coming. That feeling that they give you over the phone or in person whenever you kind of announce that is very heartwarming. So that's my favorite part.
Okay. Anything else that you guys are looking forward to for the remainder of the year with HTC?
As far as what I have going on, one thing I am definitely looking forward to, like I said, would be the digital literacy project. I'm excited to have community members grasp that knowledge of how to navigate the digital highway.
I love it. And of course, you know all the social media handles, don't you?
Do.
Tell everybody how they can, get in touch with you guys and find you everywhere.
Absolutely. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We also have a LinkedIn profile. You can always visit our website. There's a wealth of knowledge there. That's where our news and blog section is and keeps you informed.
This portion of Living Local Carolina was sponsored by HTC.
Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. How to use the QR code. Just open the camera app on your smartphone, iPad, or tablet. Point your device at the QR code so the QR code appears on your screen. Your device will recognize the QR code and show you a notification. Click that notification and you'll come to our website. Living Local Carolina, weekday mornings at 9:30 on WBTW News 13.